Good morning, class. Good morning, Staff Sergeant Frazier. Good morning, Staff Sergeant Melendez. My name is Sergeant Robinson, and today I'm going to be giving you guys a brief over the Army values. Before we get started, there's just a few things to go over. Our risk assessment is low. If you do get tired, feel free to move up towards the back of the classroom and stand up to make sure that you stay engaged. In the event of an active shooter, we're going to run, hide, and fight only if necessary. Make sure to police up your area and place your trash on the proper receptacle. And the fire exit and only exit we'll be able to use is out the door and to the right, and the restrooms are out the door and to the left. All right, we're gonna jump in here. If someone wouldn't mind keeping track of time for me, letting me know every 5 minutes that pass to make sure that we stay on task and stay engaged and stay keep up with our time. So moving on, we have our agenda here. We have the introduction that we just did. We'll be going over the key takeaway points from today's brief, and then we'll be covering each of these 7 Army values individually. So the main things that I want you guys to take away from today's brief is what the Army values are, why they are important, and how each of us as soldiers can live up to them in our everyday life. And the first letter of each Army value forms the acronym leadership. So first off, we have loyalty. Loyalty is to bear true faith and allegiance to the U.S. Constitution, the Army, unit, and other soldiers. Loyalty is the practice of placing your faith and trust in somebody that you'll have their back no matter what, and you won't turn on them. You can earn loyalty either as a subordinate or as a leader by practicing the good treatment of your soldiers and showing that you'll stick up for them without necessarily knowing the circumstances that they're in, but to show that their intent is going to be in your best interest. That's what being loyal means. We show our loyalty to our country every day by waking up, putting on the uniform, and being in the right place in the right time. Moving on, we have the second Army value, which is duty. Duty means to fulfill your obligations. And duty just doesn't mean to fulfill your obligations to the bare minimum, but to fulfill your obligations to go and above and beyond. You don't want to do just enough to skate by. You want to do everything to the best of your ability. That's what a true dutiful soldier does. And then those active duty ties into our previous Army value loyalty. You can earn loyalty by practicing a good sense of duty, by showing up, 20 minutes early, 15 minutes early to everything, and foster that environment for the soldiers around you to want to have a stronger sense of duty, that they want to get the mission done to the best of their ability, to the highest that it can be completed, and not just cut corners with any of their objectives. Now, moving on from duty, we're moving on to respect. Respect is to treat people how they should be treated. As a professional soldier, we always want to work to command respect and earn the respect of those around us. And then respect means to treat everybody with the same common courtesies despite their gender, ethnicity, religious beliefs, personal beliefs, their own values. And it doesn't matter even if they're an adversary of ours or if we don't understand them. As a professional ambassador, we have to give everybody those same common courtesies. And respect can be shown in a few different forms. We show respect to our superiors by either saluting them, standing at parade rest, and we show respect to individuals as in general, just by treating them with those same common courtesies as we talked about. Whether or not they're untrained in their job, you show them respect by allowing them to have the chance to prove themselves to do their job without undermining them or stepping on their toes. Okay, moving on to selfless service. So selfless service is to put the welfare of the nation and your subordinates before your own. A true selfless leader strives to achieve the goals that are for the greater good, not just for themselves. And this is one of those values that ties into most of the other Army values, and works to make that complete leader. That means you wanna put everybody else before yourself. And I'm sure as leaders we've all seen this. That's when somebody volunteers to maybe do a task or, quote unquote, jump on that grenade and take the heat for something in lieu of somebody else. And a good example of that is as a leader, if we spend more time on our soldiers' welfare, on their maybe award statements, on their NCOERs that we do our own, that's basic selflessness we can show every single day. Moving on to honor. So honor is a matter of carrying out, acting, and living all of the Army values 24/7 every day, no matter what. And this is really the most important Army value because, as I just said, it embodies all of them. Um, and so, as we know, being honorable is the goal or task of every soldier in general. And when soldiers live up to all those Army values, they show those acts of selflessness, they show true valor. That's when you can actually be rewarded for those by the highest award a service member or somebody in the Army can achieve, which is the Medal of Honor. So this is the goal for all of us. This is what we want to do by living up to the Army values every day, doing the right things, being in the right place, the right time, the right uniform, and never faltering, whether we're at our home eating a bowl of cereal or in an austere environment under harsh conditions where the temptations around us want to place us in a situation where we don't live up to those Army values. That's what being honorable is going above and beyond, doing things that aren't asked of you necessarily, taking that initiative to live up to what it means to be a soldier and be honorable. So moving on, from honor, we have integrity. And we're all familiar with integrity. Integrity is just doing what's right legally and morally, even when it's hard to do. This means obviously don't lie, not cheating, not stealing, not maybe if somebody doesn't give you a hand receipt for something, maybe actually returning it to them, and not skipping out. And also again, fostering that environment of strong integrity, even when it's easy to cut those corners and to maybe lie or put or take a couple extra seconds off your PT test. Having that good sense of integrity is what separates a good soldier from a less honorable one. And then a good sense of integrity is what makes your character valid. It makes you trustworthy. It breeds loyalty to you to show that you actually are honest on your word and you have something to back up your character with. So moving on from integrity, we have our last of the 7 values, which is personal courage. And personal courage is to having the ability to face fear, danger, or adversity, physical and moral. This means that you face again your fears head on. You don't necessarily have you're not necessarily without fear, but you set aside those fears to get the task done the right way. And there's 2 different types, moral courage and physical courage. A good example of moral courage is when everybody around you wants to do the wrong thing. They want to take the easy road. They want to cut those corners. But you having the strong moral courage, stick to your values, stick to the Army values, and do the right thing. I.e., if somebody makes a mistake and everybody around you wants to cover it up, if you have good, strong moral courage, you'll do the right thing and step up, tell the truth, and maybe even take the heat for it. And again, the second type of personal courage is physical courage. This is ties into selflessness very well, where you basically take the danger head on that those around you maybe are too afraid to do. That you're willing to clear that room, be the first one in for a breach, even when you know there's adversaries inside and your other squad members are too afraid. You have the strong personal courage to take that leap, to have the strength to do that because you know it's for the greater good. All right, moving on. Summary of everything that we went over. Loyalty, again, is to bear true faith and allegiance to your country, your subordinates, and your leaders alike, and adversaries, even if you don't understand exactly where they're coming from. And again, duty is to fulfill their obligations, not just to the bare minimum, but to go above and beyond. And respect is to treat others how they should be treated, again, despite what stigma they may have with them, despite their own belief systems. Selfless service is to be selfless in all that you do, put the welfare of the nation, others, your leaders or subordinates, before your own welfare. And honor, again, is to live up to those Army values every day. Integrity is to do what is right legally and morally at all times. Personal courage is to face fear or adversity head on, put it aside to get the mission accomplished. And again, that can be moral or physical. And again, these values are important because they provide the framework and basis for us as soldiers to maintain a strong, committed, honorable Army every day that we have today. These Army values are the standard of character for every single soldier. All right, are there any questions at this time? No? All right, go ahead and make sure to sign out on the sign-in sheet, and then we'll wrap up with a brief conclusion. Again, people are free to choose and hold their own values, but upon taking the oath of service, soldiers and DA civilians agree to live up to the Army values. And again, the Army values consist of the principles, standards, and qualities considered essential for service in the United States Army. All right, that concludes our class.